Hi guys, welcome back again to Vanzi channel. Today, I will share the top 45 playable Winlator games on the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 chipset. This is one of the strongest processors ever released by MediaTek, with an Antutu score reaching 2 million. For those of you who want to play Winlator games that already support VorTech, please update your Winlator version to the latest one. You can also install Winlator Bionic, where in this version, there is also an increase in performance for the Mali GPU and various features available. Okay folks, no more talking, let's begin. First, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is definitely running well on this MediaTek chipset. To improve good performance, please lower the graphics of this game, and I also suggest you to use a fairly low resolution. 2. Call of Duty World at War. Even the MediaTek Helio G99 is able to play this game with FPS above 20. The Dimensity 9300, as you can see, should be able to run the game well too. 3. Left 4 Dead 2. There are some important settings to avoid freezing and crashing while playing this game. You can find setting references to solve the problem on other YouTube channels. 4. Need for Speed Most Wanted Redux. Not only the Redux version, almost all versions of this game can run very well on the Dimensity 9300. You also won't experience a significant FPS drop in the game. 5. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is a pretty tough game to set up. Use a chipset setting reference that is close to the Dimensity 9300 and match the settings. 6. GTA 4. Thanks to the developer of this Winlator, because in the latest version, which already supports various features such as Vortex and Bionic, it is able to run heavy games on the Mali GPU well. 7. Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2 also runs very well on this MediaTek chipset. In some conditions, you may experience a slight decrease in FPS. 8. Mafia 2. In this game, in some locations you will experience a drop in FPS, which can drop to below 20. Please lower the graphics in the game for better performance. 9. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. For MediaTek or Mali GPU users, you need additional settings to be able to run this game. Don't forget to remove heavy objects in the in-game settings so that it can run smoothly. 10. Devil May Cry 4. For the regular version of this game, it can be run by almost all Mali GPU devices, with FPS performance reaching 30 and sometimes it can be even higher. 11. MiSide. With the support of the VorTech driver, this game can run well on the Dimensity 9300 chipset. However, make sure your settings are in accordance with the performance of this processor. 12. Need for Speed Underground. The Need for Speed series is mostly very light for you to play, especially for the previous games. You also don't need to do complicated settings to improve the performance of this game. 13. Need for Speed Underground 2. Similar to the first version, Need for Speed Underground 2 also does not require any complicated special settings. You just need to use the VorTech and DXVK drivers as recommended so that the game runs well. 14. Need for Speed Carbon. This game is also one of the light games for you to play and is very suitable for fans of the classic series Need for Speed. Please use the driver and DXVK as shown earlier. 15. Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2. This game is quite heavy to play on VorTech if using Mali GPU. Please use the appropriate settings that can make the game run well for this chipset. 16. Transformers Devastation. Despite some minor flaws, Transformers Devastation is considered a well-crafted and enjoyable game, particularly for fans of the original Transformers cartoon. 17. Mitsurugi Kamui Hikae. The Mitsurugi Kamui Hikae game is also one of the games that is very light for you to play using this chipset. This game is also suitable for fans' hack and slaws game. 18. MotoGP 2008. Although this game is still considered a fairly classic game in the PlayStation 3 era, you can still enjoy the graphics of this game, especially since the game runs very well. 19. Pro Evolution Soccer 2013. This game is also definitely running very well, and I recommend you to play the latest patch version. Additional settings may be needed for this MediaTek. 20. Pro Evolution Soccer 2017. Unlike previous Pro Evolution Soccer games, this one is still quite heavy for you to play, and requires additional settings to improve the quality of its performance. 21. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This is a Call of Duty series that is quite smooth to play without bugs, especially for MediaTek users. This game also offers very good graphics and engaging gameplay. Next, MudRunner. As you can see below, the game is running above 20, and sometimes can go down depending on certain conditions. If you have better setting suggestions, please comment. Next, Burnout Paradise. I highly recommend you to play this game on Winlator, especially for MediaTek chipset users who are now able to play this game using VorTeq drivers. Next, Dead Space. One of the horror survival games that you should not miss. This game actually runs very well even using the Virgil driver. Next, Dead Space 2. By using the VorTeq driver and DXVK's suggestions as shown below, you should be able to play this game quite well and stably. 26. Dead Space 3. Dead Space 3 is also able to run quite well on this chipset. Don't forget to lower the graphics to get better FPS performance on this processor. Next, Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is the game I used in the thumbnail and intro of this video. This game is very interesting and has won the Game of the Year award. Now this game can run at FPS reaching 50. Next, Just Cause. Not only Winlator, other emulators such as AetherSex 2 are also capable of running this game with quite high and stable FPS performance, including for MediaTek users. Next, Just Cause 2. Use the resolution I recommend below to run this game stably. Also use the appropriate VorTeq and DXVK drivers for this graphics setting. Next, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. One of the most famous games from the Elder Scrolls series is Oblivion. Now, without any special settings or complicated installations, you can play this phenomenal game on the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 chipset. 31. Silent Hill Homecoming. Silent Hill Homecoming is a very light game to play. You can use the VorTeq and DXVK drivers that I recommended below to try this game on your MediaTek Dimensity device. Next, Battlefield Bad Company 2. This game is actually not stable enough to play on Mali GPU devices. For those of you who want to try it, you can use the VorTeq driver as I suggested, or the settings that you think are better. Next, Drive Unlimited. Drive Unlimited is one of the light open-world racing games for you to play on GPU Mali. This game can run up to 40 FPS when you play it on Winlator. Next, Test Driver Ferrari Racing Legend is a game that caters to Ferrari enthusiasts. offering a large collection of cars and a historical perspective on the brand. However, its flaws in difficulty, physics, and AI may frustrate players seeking a more refined and balanced racing experience. Next, Resident Evil 5. Without recording, you can get up to 30 FPS on this MediaTek Dimensity 9300 processor. Use the appropriate settings on your device and lower the graphics in the game to run well. 36. Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 should run fine on this chipset, as it is a previous DirectX Sago game. To get a better gaming experience, it is better to lower the graphics so it can run smoother. Next, Outlast. Outlast is a pretty scary survival game that will push your courage to the limit. It also runs great on the VorTex driver, as you can see in the screen. Next, Stalker Clear Sky. Stalker Clear Sky is a prequel to the original game, Shadow of Chernobyl, and it focuses on faction warfare within the zone, offering a more linear story than its predecessor. Next, Killing Floor. Killing Floor is a co-op game that can run offline on Winlator. In addition, you can also play this game very well on your device, without special settings. Next, Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. Without a doubt, one of the best Prince of Persia games is definitely running very well when using the VorTex driver. Please replace DXVK if you feel the performance is not good. 41. Manhunt 2. Manhunt 2 is actually capable of running well at 60 FPS, or you can lock the speed limit to 30 to make it more stable on MediaTek devices, as you can see. Next, Fable: The Lost Chapter. Fable: The Lost Chapters is an enhanced version of the original Fable game, primarily released on PC. It includes all the content from the Xbox version, plus new areas, quests, monsters, and items, offering a more complete experience. Next, Brothers in Arms: Road to Hill 30. One of the best war games can now be played on MediaTek devices very smoothly, without exception to this chipset. You can also play the game at high resolution, but lose the performance a little bit. Next, Call of Duty 2. This is one of the classic Call of Duty series that you can play very well for high-end MediaTek devices. This game is also not too difficult to set up. Final list, Resident Evil Revelations 2. Both series of Resident Evil Revelations can actually run well on MediaTek devices. You can increase the performance of this game a little by lowering the graphics and settings in the preset profile. Okay folks, those are the top 45 best games that you can play smoothly and playable on MediaTek Dimensity 9300. There are still many other light games that you can play on this chipset very well. Before trying games on Winlator, especially for MediaTek devices, use the latest version of Winlator that supports VorTex or Winlator Bionic. Both versions now provide various features for Mali GPU. Okay guys, if you think this video useful, please like this video and subscribe to Vanzi channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.